Good afternoon, friends. I'm the Reverend Allison Patton, pastor of Saugatuck Congregational Church, United Church of Christ, and I am delighted to welcome you here for what I believe to be the first live concert that we have had since 2019. Between 2019 and today, Saugatuck Church made a new friend. Liang-Fang Chang came to us originally as an interim organist, just to fill the time while we did a search for a director of music ministry. It didn't take us long to realize that we didn't want her to go away. We're delighted that she accepted our invitation to serve in that position of director of music ministry in the fall of 2021. Is that right? I think is that the right timing? It's all a COVID blur. But we have been so pleased at the gifts that she has shared with our worshiping community and with our wider community, with the children and with our young folks and with all of you. So thank you so much for taking the time to come this afternoon for this special program that she has designed. We are particularly pleased to welcome with her Suzanne Wager, who will be playing on the viola this afternoon, and you are in for a treat. In designing this program, Liang-Fang Chang decided that she would like to dedicate this afternoon's performance to the Domestic Violence Crisis Center that works out of Norwalk. You'll find information about the center on the back of your program this afternoon. I commend that to you and invite you to consider making a generous gift in gratitude for this afternoon's program to support that very important work. You can do so by making a direct gift online, if you have the facility to do that. There are also offering plates at the front and at the back of the room, and so you may leave cash and checks in those two places for us to gather up and so honor this work and also pay it forward by supporting that important ministry in Norwalk. All right, without further ado, it is my joy and my pleasure to welcome to this space Liang-Fang Chang.
Thank you, everyone. I put all my notes on my phone, so you're going to see me read here because I think I have a lot I want to say, but I need to prioritize some things. First, I want to thank everyone who made the time and come here. I also want to say thank you for everyone who is watching online right now. I know I have some friends, Suzanne has friends who are watching across the country. I thank you for your time. I want to thank Saugatuck Congregational Church for hosting this event. I want to thank Linda Agin for making the program. I want to thank all my ushers, wonderful ladies, for helping passing out the program. I want to thank Mark, who is on the top there to control everything, including all the microphone. I don't need to press button. He say, you just grab a microphone, wait 1 second and talk. Don't even turn it off. I say, okay. Everyone here is volunteer. So it's really my great thank you for all your work here. I want to thank Craig and Allison, who always inspire me a lot and always give me ideas through the weekly preparations and always give me the best support I have never imagined I will have before I come into this church. So thank you all here. I want to thank you, my partner, she's still in the green room, Suzanne, for agreeing to play this recital. This is not easy. She's playing a piece transcribed from clarinet. And she's playing a piece for some movements transcribed from saxophone. So it's never easy. So I want to thank her time and effort for making this happen. I want to thank my great colleague and composer, Dr. Kevin Isaacs, for writing the piece we are going to hear this afternoon, the premiere. He took tremendous time, energy, imagination, and put into the work. And I always benefit from being a friend with such a great composer. I learned a lot. I always just knock the door. What do you mean by that? Last but not the least, I want to thank you, Domestic Violence Crisis Center, for helping us for this event. I think all of us were helped throughout the way, younger or older, sometimes earlier or later. And it is my honor that today we have this opportunity. We can use the music to help those people who are in the need. So please check the back of the donation. I had a great conversation with the DVCC people. And I'm sure this is just the beginning of the collaboration. I'm looking forward to more things. So checks or cash, they're all welcome for your support. Thank you. Now, let me introduce the piece I want to play after I say so many thank you. I have long wanted to play Brahms' Opus 120, number 2, the sonata, since I was a student when I was in Iowa. So when I have this idea to play this concert, and I said, oh, I want to do that. And I found the best partner, the violist. But what else should I do? I don't know. And so there was one day, about a year ago, I was looking through the music upstairs as a new person. I don't know what they have here. So I looked through piles and piles and piles of music. And all of a sudden, something got my attention. So it's this one. I didn't buy the music. This is from Saugatuck Congregational Church. So I read the cover, and it's Johannes Brahms. Oh, I want to play Brahms. What is this one? Opus 122. What? I thought the Opus 120 is the last piece he wrote. Apparently, I have been wrong for so many years. So it's Opus 122, 11 choral preludes for organ. Wait, he wrote music for organ? I didn't even know that. He wrote so many pieces for violin, piano, symphony, cello, clarinet. He wrote something, organ, and then I eager to open the book. I read the preface, and then I was deeply touched. This indeed is the last work he ever written. It was written in the summer 1896, and was just briefly after he attended Clara Schumann's funeral. Clara Schumann passed away on May 20, 1896. And he attended the funeral, made a long trip, even when he was already suffering from liver cancer. And after he came back, he wrote actually 7 choral preludes. The 7 choral preludes, all based on Lutheran Church chorale, because he grew up in Lutheran Church. And this afternoon, I'm going to play. The first one was based on the chorale. The title, as you can see from the program, Behold, a Rose Breaks into Bloom. And that rose, apparently, is talking about Clara. And this was the most beautiful one within the 11. I mean, everyone is beautiful, but this one is intended to written for Clara. And later, I will finish the concert by the last one. He wrote, "O world, I must leave you now." And that was his last work to write. I deeply believe he was inspired from the funeral, from the church setting, because he did not really write a lot of sacred music. Throughout the time, it's a lot of secular music, instrumental music. So the text is, behold, a rose breaks into bloom. Behold, a rose has broken from a most tender root. A blossom sweet and bright, it break in icy winter, well, in the dark of night. So this is the text of the first chorale. And the beginning of, based on this chorale, he wrote the chorale prelude on the organ. And then the beginning is, and last night, right before I went to bed, I suddenly remember a piece, Opus 118. He wrote 1 year earlier, and the number 2, the intermezzo, was long, everyone believes it's written talking about Clara Schumann. Starts very similar motif, different key. The 118 is A major, and here is F major. So the 118 is, you just come up last month. So the first note. And then when he wants to say something, the last word to his longtime friend, special friend, Clara. I think, based on how much I know Brahms, this is not coincidence. Also, this piece, the Behold the Rose, and then the last piece, A Word I Must Leave You Now, all written in F major, which is not the usual key for Brahms. He was famous in writing 4 flat, 6, 5 sharp. I looked through the pieces all of his life. There were only a few pieces written in F major. And one of it's German Requiem, which he wrote 30 years ago. So this morning during our service, our pastor was asking, where is the God? And I heard an answer from that corner say, in nature. I believe when Brahms wrote those pieces in F major, it's not just, oh, I love F major today, I'm going to write. No, there's an intention there. He thinks it's time to go back to the nature, to the gods. And that's why he was setting this F major. So now, without further talking, I will start the organ. The very first one, Behold, a Rose Breaks into Bloom. So you just heard the chorale, and then the chorale prelude. The last word Brahms wrote to Clara Schumann after she passed away. Next piece, we are going to premiere Dr. Isaac's the latest work, The Water Sonata. The whole piece was written for myself, for me, and for Suzanne Weger this summer, in the summer of 2022. There are 4 movements. Each movement is one sort of water. So you will see first movement, fountains, and then riverside, rapids, springtide. Despite 4 different water situations, these situations are not visual, imaginary, turned into musical gestures. Instead, the musical motifs, textures, forms, and color qualities are suggesting to the listener the combination of all the senses involved when in the present of these situations. Many senses becoming just one, hearing. And I do understand a lot of people, when they were so hesitant to come to the concert, and then they were like, but I don't know the classical music. Oh, I never go to a concert. So I happened to have a very interesting conversation with my 11-year-old one day, just last week. I was driving, as usual, and then the radio played a pop song. And then she said, Mom, you know this singer? She wrote each song right after she broke up with her boyfriend. And by now, I don't know how many times she broke up already. And then I say, you know what? It's actually Brahms and Beethoven, Schubert, they did the same thing. They put their happiness, sadness, you know, they put this happiness, sadness, struggle, lost into their music. Yeah, but there's no text. Yeah, there's no text, but all those things, it's in the music. But I am barely just trying to play the right notes. Me too. We are all doing the same thing. But after hours practice, we try to express the meaning which the composer wanted to say. So in each piece now, I hope you will get the meaning without the words. That's how I got this title of the concert. And I want to introduce my great partner, Suzanne Weger. Come to the stage and then play with me. Last thing I want to say, I want to thank you, Anthony DeLuco, for turning pages. This is not an easy job, and I can just totally rely on him. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's pretty good as a first performance. Next, we are going to play Brahms' Sonata, Opus 120, number 2. It was written 2 years before he passed away. He was already decided, retired, not to write anything before this piece, until one of his very good clarinet friends say, "Hey, you never wrote anything for clarinet. Can you write something?" So he wrote Opus 120, number 1, number 2, sonatas, and then he also wrote clarinet, the quintet, with a string quartet plus the clarinet. And it's all written for this clarinist. This number 2, E flat major, I think you will hear a lot of love, struggle, memory, friendship with Clara Schumann, and I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, my friend want to talk.
I hate talking, so you know this says something. The Brahms viola sonatas are actually taken from the clarinet sonatas, arranged by Brahms. So this isn't totally just the typical viola stealing someone else's music. Joseph Joachim, the famous violinist, loved to play viola, and he actually said to Brahms, could you arrange those three pieces for viola solo with, like, instead of the clarinet part, for the clarinet quintet and also for the, not solo for the sonatas, but it's really a piano work, as you'll see. But I think that's kind of special and important that it actually was arranged by Brahms. So, thank you.
Oh, I feel we should go home now. No, it's consuming a lot of physical and emotional and planning and expressing. So no, I do want to play the last piece because because that's what Mr. Brahms, wrote in his entire lifetime. So this is again 1896 when he was suffering with liver cancer, when his longtime friend, special friend Clara, was gone, and he feel it's time that the world I need to say goodbye to you. The text from the original Lutheran chorale is, I can read for you. A word now I must leave you, my Lord, will soon receive me, for I am homeward bent, my body, life, and spirit. And everything I merit, I place in God's most gracious hand.
Friends, Liang Fang Chang. And Suzanne Wager. Please come back out. Come back out. Come on in. And Kevin J. Isaacs, composer of the Water Sonata. Thank you so much for sharing your music with us this afternoon. What a treat. Thank you so much. Thank you, friends, for holding this space, for allowing this concert to be, for celebrating music with us this afternoon. A reminder that in gratitude for what you have heard, we invite you to make a gift to the Domestic Violence Crisis Center. The plates are at the front or at the back. The information is in the back of your program. And we hope you will come back and join us on November 20th. Do you want to say a word about that concert?
We are inviting Western Connecticut State University chamber singers, going to be conducted by Dr. Isaacs, for a full concert. And also for the first half, we are going to present Miss Janice Clarkson, Cloworth, I'm sorry. Music, who is Gloria Goodenough's mother, and we are going to present 6 of her pieces in the first half. The concert is Sunday, November 20th, 3 p.m., and I truly hope I will see you all here. Thank you very much.
Have a lovely rest of your afternoon. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much.